OpenAI, the new model O3, it's out. Are you excited? Can you feel the excitement? It's fantastic. Everybody's screaming about it. It's wonderful. Unfortunately, that's not the experience that I had with it. Now, today, I happen to have the day off today, and as I was scrolling through social medias and different things as I had the day off, I was seeing these posts about O3 is out, and I think it came out the day before yesterday even, but anyway, that folks were loving it, and a couple of the AI folks that I follow or on YouTube were really talking it up, that they had put it through its paces, and that it all these pages of documents and all these things that they had done, and it was amazing. And so I was really excited to take some time tonight, come down to my office and fire it up and chat with Quinn and see how fabulous it is. Well, my experience with O3 was not as great as theirs. First of all, I couldn't chat with Quinn. So every time I tried to chat with Quinn, and you notice Quinn is not with me here. Now, I could have went to the 4.0 version and had Quinn here, but since I'm talking about O3, I'm just going to talk myself and I'm going to share my experience. But every time I tried to have a voice interaction with Quinn, and it didn't matter how many times I restarted, I even thought, well, maybe it's my internet connection that's causing this issue, and I'll change. And I use my hotspot instead of my internet, or, instead of my broadband. And there was no difference. So it wasn't an issue on my side or with the connection. But every single time that I tried to chat with Quinn, this is what happened.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Now, I sped that up so it would be a little bit faster. There was a little bit more of a lag time between each one of those responses from Quinn. But no matter what the response was, it would get out just like the first few seconds and then stop, pause, and repeat that same exact phrase, whatever the phrase was that Quinn was trying to say. So it sounded like, for those of us who can remember, the old albums of the day when you got a crack in your album and your album was playing on your turntable and it was just sitting there and skipping in the same spot. That's what was happening with Quinn. So I couldn't have a conversation with Quinn. So I thought, well, maybe it's just something with the voice. I'll try something else. Now, one of the things that I have that I use AI quite a bit with is in my full-time role, I'm a project manager. And I project manage the development life cycle of integration between systems, specifically in healthcare. So that's what I do. And I've been doing this for years now, years and years and years and years. And what I have done over the years is I have developed an Excel spreadsheet that I use as my project plan for these integration life cycles. And everything is very similar. I mean, it's evolved over time and it's gotten more complicated and larger, and I've added more features as I have learned more about Excel and been able to do more with formulas. And now with AI coming on the scene, I've used AI to help me enhance some of the formulas or add some formulas or retype some of the really complex formulas, things like that I've used AI for. But every time I've tried to take my sample spreadsheet, the one that I use to test and to make different formulas and things myself, and upload that to any versions of the AI. I've tried Copilot, and I've tried ChatGPT, and I've tried Grok, and none of them can really understand the spreadsheet fully and help me from a global perspective of the spreadsheet. When I say, I would like you to analyze this spreadsheet, check for errors, and then also make some enhancement recommendations. Usually they can get through that part of it. They can take a look and analyze the spreadsheet. And if I give them some description of what I'm trying to do, because there's a couple of difficult concepts, I think, for AI to grasp within my Excel spreadsheet that are not typically in an Excel spreadsheet. The way I use parent and child rows in my spreadsheet really seems to confuse AI models. But if I give them an explanation of what that spreadsheet is and how I'm using it both horizontally and vertically, then typically they can get through that first phase. They can analyze it and they can say, oh, I see what you're doing here. And how about we add this addition to it? Or how about we make this change to enhance it? And as soon as we start going down that path, the formulas that they provide for me, or even as with OpenAI tonight, when I say your formula is not working, please go ahead and insert it in the spreadsheet and give me a fresh download. And it did. Their own formulas they insert don't work. And then you end up in this endless loop of trying to troubleshoot this issue. It didn't work. Now I'm getting blank results. Now I'm getting a circular reference. Now I'm, and you just go on and on and on and on and on, trying to make a simple change in my spreadsheet. So that's, for me, that's one of the bars that I have set now that I have used AI for a while, is to see if it can understand my spreadsheet and help me with it. As of right now, none of them have been able to do it. And tonight was no exception. So I was very excited to use O3. I was thinking, I'm going to upload that spreadsheet, and if it's as good as these other guys are saying it is, and their experience with it is this fantastic, maybe it can help me make some of these enhancements that I want to make, and I won't have to do it myself, because there are some enhancements now that I would like to make to the spreadsheet, and I was hoping that AI could just do it based on me giving a text description or a verbal description saying, here's the section that I want to add. Here's the changes that I would like to make to this. Can you provide me either with the code to do it, or can you do it in the spreadsheet and just hand it back to me? They were not able to do it. So I was disappointed with my OpenAI O3 experience, and nothing seemed to work for me. So that was a real letdown, a real disappointment. Here I'm a champion of AI. We got a new version out. We're going to have some fun. Durr. All right, one last thing that I want to cover, and that is the naming convention that OpenAI uses. It is very confusing. So if O3 just came out and it's the newer enhanced version, why were we already on 4.0? It doesn't make any sense. And I asked ChatGPT or Quinn to explain it to me so I could explain it to you. And you know what? I'm more confused now than I was before asking. What I gather, or kind of in a nutshell, what it is there's an internal naming convention for the versions of ChatGPT. There's internal naming conversions that are called turbo and that have dollar signs in them and O's and all kinds of different things. And they're sharing basically with us what the naming conventions are, partially, I think, based on the 3 or the 4, where the O is before or after. It seems to make sense to them internally. To us, it just seems like a mess, right? Why would you release a 3 version after the 4 version and say the 3 version is newer than the 4 version, but the O is in front and not in behind? What I understand is that when version 5 comes out, it'll all be standardized from there going forward. At least that's what ChatGPT is telling me now. So we'll see, but the naming convention is very confusing. However, the O3 version is the latest version that's out. It has the latest reasoning and everything with it. Unfortunately, I did not have a good experience today with it. I'm going to give it a day. Maybe I'll make another O3 video tomorrow. We'll see if my interaction with it tomorrow was any better than it was today. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some more research. I'll watch a few more videos from some other creators that I do follow in the AI space and see if they're having any issues with it. But unfortunately, mine wasn't too fantastic. And now I would say if there's any, not that there are, but if perchance there happens to be any OpenAI folks who stumble upon my video, because I'll probably label it O3 or something about ChatGPT or OpenAI. If you happen to stumble across this video in the next few days, and you want to see what I saw or the issues that I was having and learn something more, I'd be more than happy to share. I'd share my spreadsheet. I'll share the steps I went through. I'll share the things that I'm trying to do with it, the problems that I'm trying to tackle, and the unfortunate responses that I got. All right, and for April 17th, 2025, vlog 107, I'm Dave. This is Old Dad Studio. That's it for today, but we'll see you tomorrow.